प्रसीद प्रसीद मातः जगतोऽखिलस्य प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरि पाहि विश्वं त्वमीश्वरी देवी चराचरस्य त्वं वैष्णवी शक्तिरनन्तवीर्या विश्वस्य बीजं परमासि माया सम्मोहितं देवि समस्तमेतत् त्वं वै प्रसन्ना भुवि मुक्तिहेतुः।
Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sri Matre Namaha. Today is the third day of Navaratri, and we will continue with Devi Mahatmyam. Today we start with the Pratham Charitram, and again this knowledge is being brought out so that it can help you transcend while listening. This way you gain deeper knowledge and there is more expansion of the consciousness that comes. While translating, I will try to use more prose than poetry just to make the understanding simple. Before we move into the Prathama Charitram, I want to just share a few words what Maharishiji has said about Devi. The desire of Mother Divine, Devi, is that we all enjoy. That we enjoy life fully and we gain rapid evolution to be liberated. Again, this liberation or freedom should be in this lifetime. We have already understood that Devi is the creator, but she is also the process of evolution with her creative intelligence or cosmic intelligence. Devi, the Divine Mother, is our greatest friend. She wants us to enjoy life to the maximum in a dharmic way. She is the most compassionate, and there is no greater friend than her. It is her will that we live life with our full potential. When we incorporate her will, then we are better off in every way. We enjoy more, accomplish more, get tired less, and get rejuvenated more. All good things happen by giving ourselves to Devi, who is the automatic force of evolution. She is the mother of all, and it is the desire of the mother to do everything for the child. The child himself does not know what would be good for him or what would be bad for him, or which direction to take in life. It is this will of this Divine Mother, and it is her eternal love for every child of hers that designs the activity so that the child may not suffer. This is the design of the Mother Divine, Durgamba, that increasing pattern of evolution happens in a most spontaneous way. Not only does she want her children not to suffer, but she wants her children to enjoy to the most extent that joy is possible. And for this, Maharishiji has recommended that everybody practice transcendental meditation morning and evening. Just doing our meditation regularly is giving ourselves to that mechanism of nature, to that design of nature, which takes every seeker to the goal and takes the mind to bliss consciousness spontaneously. This is the essence of Maharishi's words, not exact word to word of what he said. And let's continue with the Pratham Charitram because it is a very long chapter.
मार्कण्डेय उवाच ततस्तौ सहितौ विप्रतं मुनिं समुपस्थितौ समाधिर्नाम वैश्योऽसौ स जपार्थिवसत्तमः कृत्वा स्तुतौ यथा न्यायं यथार्हं तेन संविदम् उपविष्टो गता काश्चिश्चक्रतुर्वैश्यपार्थिवौ राजोवाच भगवं स्वामहं प्रष्टुमिच्छाम्येकं वदस्व तत् दुःखाय यन्मे मनसः स्वचित्ताय तदां विना मम त्वं गतराज्यस्य राज्याङ्गेष्वखिलेष्वपि जानतोऽपि यथाज्ञस्य किमेतन्मुनिसत्तमा अयं च निकृतः पुत्रैर्धारैर्वृत्यैस्तथोच्चितः स्वजनेन च सन्त्यक्तस्तेषु हार्दी तथाप्यति एवमेष तथा हञ्जाद्वावप्यत्यन्तदुःखितौ दृष्टदोषेऽपि विषये मम त्वाकृष्टमानसौ तत्किमेतन्महाभागायन्मोहो ज्ञानिनोरपि ममास्य च भवत्येषा विवेकान्धस्य मूढता ऋषिरुवाच ज्ञानमस्ति समस्तस्य जन्तोर्विषयगोचरे विषयाश्च महाभागा यान्ति चैवं पृथक् पृथक् दिवान्ताः प्राणिनः केचिद्रात्रावन्तास्तथा परे केचिद्दिवा तथा रात्रौ प्राणिनस्तुल्यदृष्टयः ज्ञानिनो मनुजाः सत्यं किन्नु तेन हि केवलम् यतो हि ज्ञानिनः सर्वे पशुपक्षिमृगादयः ज्ञानं च तन्मनुष्याणां यत्तेषां मृगपक्षिणां मनुष्याणां च यत्तेषां तुल्यमन्यत्तथोभयोः ज्ञानेऽपि सति पश्येतान् वरङ्गाञ्छावचञ्जुषो कणमोक्षादृतान् मोहात् पीड्यमानानपि क्षुधा मानुषा मनुजव्याघ्रा साभिलाषाः सुतान् प्रति लोभात् प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वेतान् किन्न पश्यसि तथापि ममता वर्ते मोहगर्ते निपातिता महामाया प्रभावेण संसारस्थितिकारिणा तन्नात्र विस्मयः कार्यो योगनिद्रा जगत्पतेः महामाया हरेश्चैषा त्वया सम्मोह्यते जगत् ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हि सा वरादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रयच्छति तया विसृज्यते विश्वं जगदेतच्चराचरम् सैषा प्रसन्ना वरदा नृणां भवति मुक्तये सा विद्या परमा मुक्तेर्हेतुभूता सनातनी संसारबन्धहेतुश्च सैव सर्वेश्वरेश्वरी राजोवाच भगवन् काहि सा देवी महामायेति याम् अवान् ब्रवीति कथमुत्पन्ना सा कर्मास्याश्च किं द्विजा यत्प्रभावा च सा देवी यत्स्वरूपा यदुद्भवा तत्सर्वं श्रोतुमिच्छामि त्वत्तो ब्रह्मविदां वरा ऋषिरुवाच नित्यैव सा जगन्मूर्तिस्तया सर्वमिदं ततम् तथापि तत्समुत्पत्तिर्बहुधा श्रूयतां मम देवानां कार्यसिद्ध्य स्वसात्वं हिव षट्कारस्वरात्मिका सुधात्वमक्षरे नित्ये त्रिधा मात्रात्मिका स्थिता अर्धमात्रा स्थिता नित्या यानुच्चार्या विशेषतः त्वमेव सन्ध्या सावित्री त्वं देवि जननी परा त्वयैतद्धार्यते विश्वं त्वयैतत्सृज्यते जगत् त्वयैतत्पाल्यते देवि त्वमत्स्यन्ते च सर्वदा विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तथा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहा च भवति महादेवी महेश्वरी प्रकृतिस्त्वं च सर्वस्य गुणत्रयविभाविनी कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर्मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा त्वं श्रेस्त्वमीश्वरे त्वं ह्रेस्त्वं बुद्धिर्बोधलक्षणा लज्जा पुष्टिस्तथा तुष्टिस्त्वं शान्तिः क्षान्तिरेव च खड्गिनी शूलिनी घोरा गदिनी चक्रिणी तथा शङ्खिनी चापिनी बाणभुषुण्डे परिहायुधा सौम्या सौम्यतरा शेषा सौम्येभ्यस्त्वति सुन्दरी परा पराणां परमा त्वमेव परमेश्वरी यच्च किञ्चित् क्वचित् वस्तु सदसत्त्वाखिलात्मिके तस्य सर्वस्य या शक्तिः सा त्वं किं स्तूयसे मया यया त्वया जगत्स्रष्टा जगत्पात्यत्रियो जगत् सोऽपि निद्रावशं नीतः कस्त्वां स्तोतुमिहेश्वरः विष्णुः शरीरग्रहणमहमीशान एव च कारितास्ते यतोऽधस्त्वां कस्तोतुं शक्तिमान् भवेत् सा त्वमित्थं प्रभावैस्वैरुदारैर्देवि संस्तुता मोहयेतौ दुराधर्षावसुरो मधुकैटभौ प्रबोधं च जगत्स्वामी नीयतामच्युतो लघु बोधश्च क्रियतामस्य हन्तुमेनौ महासुरौ ऋषिरुवाच एवं स्तुता तदा देवी तामसे तत्र वेधसा विष्णोः प्रबोधनार्थाय निहन्तुं मधुकैटभौ नेत्रास्य नासिका बाहु हृदयेभ्यस्ततो रसः निर्गम्य दर्शने तस्थौ ब्रह्मणो व्यक्तजन्मनः उत्तस्थौ च जगन्नाथस्तया मुक्तो जनार्दनः एकार्णवे हि शयनात्ततः सददृशे च तौ मधुकैटभो दुरात्मानावतिवीर्यपराक्रमौ क्रोधरक्ते क्षणावत्तुं ब्रह्माणं जनितोद्यमौ समुत्थाय ततस्ताभ्यां युयुधे भगवान् हरिः पञ्चवर्षसहस्राणि बाहुप्रहरणो विभुः तावप्यतिबलोन्मत्तौ महामाया विमोहितौ उक्तवन्तौ वरोऽस्मत्तो प्रियतामिति केशवम् श्रीभगवानुवाच भवेदामद्य मे तुष्टौ मम वध्या बुभावपि किमन्येन वरेणात्र एतावद्धिव्रतं मया ऋषिरुवाच वञ्चिताभ्यामिति तदा
Here is the translation for the Pratham Charitram. Shri Devi Mahatmyam. I bow down to Goddess Durga. In this Pratham Charitram, which is the first account, Brahma is the seer. The corresponding deity is Mahakali. The poetic meter is Gayatri. The Shakti is Nanda. The seed is Devi Raktadantika. The property is Agni. And the form is that of Rigveda. Now this is presented in the form of a chant to please the goddess Mahakali. Now we meditate upon the goddess. She is bearing in her 10 hands the sword, the discus, the club, the bow, the spear, the pike, the sling, the head, and the conch. She has 3 eyes, and her whole body is embellished with ornaments. She reflects the brilliance of a radiant blue gem. She has 10 faces and equal number of legs. I worship Mahakali, the great remover of darkness. Sri Brahma praised Mahakali in order to slay the Asuras, Madhu and Kaitab, born during the cosmic sleep of Lord Vishnu, which is the Yoga Nidra. Om, I bow down to the fierce one. Om, Aim, sage Markandeya said. Savarni, who is Surya's son, is known as the 8th Manu. Sage Markandeya is describing his genesis at length. With the grace of the Supreme Goddess Mahamaya, Savarni became the emperor for one day during this Manvantara time. It is referred to as the Day of the Infinite. During this Manvantara and during the period ruled by the king and his dynasty, there was a king named Suratha. Suratha means the conveyor of good thoughts, and he is born of the lineage of Chaitra Vamsha. Chaitra Vamsha means those who are established in consciousness. He became the authority and emperor over all the regions of the earth. He lived a very dharmic life, and he protected his subjects like his own children. During that period, the warrior kings named Kala Vidvamsin became his enemies. These Kala Vidvamsin kings were the destroyers of worship, and their southern capital was Kola. Suratha had a strong sense of justice, a very dharmic person, engaged the destroyers of worship in battle, and even though they were fewer in numbers, Suratha was defeated. He lost his country to these Kola warriors and he returned to his own city, a small place, and started ruling there. But there also these mighty enemies pursued him again and then attacked him. His own subjects joined this army of the enemies, and the king's strength was severely depleted. Consequently, all his powerful and unscrupulous ministers usurped the army and the treasury. Having lost his empire and also having lost even the sovereignty in his own city, then Suratha was very disappointed, and on the pretext of hunting, he mounted his horse and went away into the dense forest. There, in the forest, he came upon the hermitage of sage Medha, and here he saw so many dangerous animals living in the greatest of peace. Sage Medha also had many illustrious disciples who were adding to the magnificence of this knowledge and contributing to the peace in the area. The great sage welcomed Suratha with respect, and the king spent some time in the hermitage, just wandering here and there. Although Suratha was in this peaceful hermitage and in the presence of this wise sage and his illustrious pupils, his mind remained afflicted with attachment and egotism, and constantly he reflected about his kingdom and about his people. He mused, "The city which was protected and looked after me by my ancestors in former times has been lost by me." He was concerned about his unethical and unprincipled subjects and ministers, whether they were protecting and taking care of the kingdom in a righteous way. He was also concerned about his foremost beloved elephant, which was mighty and always remained happy in his presence, and whether it was being taken care of. He further thought, "My possessions, which are for my enjoyment, are now under enemies' occupation, and all the subjects and the ministers who followed him and received his goodwill, riches and food are now dedicated to the enemies." Now his so-called loyal subjects are all compliant with other kings, and they must be destroying all the wealth because of their extravagance and spendthrift ways. They will drain the treasury that has been painstakingly accumulated by me. And King Suratha continuously pondered and worried about this and other matters in the kingdom. Then he saw a Vaisya, a merchant, in the vicinity of this great sage's hermitage. After greeting him, the king asked, "Who are you, and what is the reason for your coming here?" He further said, "Why do you appear to be in such great sorrow, as though your mind has lost its goal. The Vaisya, the merchant, was touched by the king's affectionate words, and he bowed down to him in obeisance, and in words full of modesty and humble respect, he replied to the king, I am a Vaisya named Samadhi, born in a wealthy family. My wicked wife and sons have banished me because of their greed for wealth. I have been deprived of wealth and my wife and sons. Now I have become an ascetic seeker of truth. I have come to the forest filled with grief and abandoned by my trusted kinsmen. And staying here, I do not know what is the state of the good affairs and what is good or bad for me. I have been abandoned by my own progeny, and they are catering after their own happiness. In despair and sorrow, I come to this forest without the pomp and show of worldly existence. But I still wish for the good of all of my own people, and I worry about their welfare, whether things are going well for them at home. I worry about my sons and continuously think whether they are observing good conduct and behaving in a proper way, or are they influenced by just evil and wickedness. Then the king said, You have been cast out by your wife and sons because of their extreme greed. And why are you so attached in your mind and think that you still love them? Then the Vaisya said, The very words that you have spoken have occurred to me also, but what can I do? My mind is not inclined towards being harsh with them. My mind and heart are drawn in affection to the same ones who have banished me, and having abandoned love for their father and love for husband and love for the kinsmen, still my mind is drawn in affection for them. O great learned one, I do not understand how the mind is inclined to love relatives who are deprived of all the good qualities, and knowingly what they have done to me, I still am concerned and love them, and this I fail to understand. Because of their actions, I feel dejected and I am living in despair. I do not know what to do. My mind does not even harden for those who are devoid of love for me. Markandeya continues. The king and the Vaisya stood in front of the great sage, and this Vaisya named Samadhi is the best among the Parthivas, that means the people born on this earth. He did his oblations to the Guru, and the king also followed in offering his oblations and respects to the great sage. They both sat down and initiated the conversation. The king addressed the great sage and said, You who have united with the Infinite Self, who is one with the Brahman, I wish to ask you one question. O great sage, my mind has gone to grief without being restrained by my thoughts. I have lived a royal life and enjoyed so many perks and so much of aristocracy. I am greatly attached to my kingdom and all the subjects, and I know I have lost the kingdom, and knowing very well that it does not belong to me anymore, I still feel great pain for it. I feel so much pain that I feel that I am ignorant. How can this ignorance happen, O best of sages? And here this humble man, this Vaisya, also cheated and deceived by his wife and children and the employees, and forsaken by his other relatives, he still maintains greatest affection for them. And here we are, both of us feeling a lot of pain and grief. Even though we see all the faults, still the mind is drawn into affectionate attachment to this worldly life and to all the people who matter. O exalted one, there is so much delusion in this understanding. And why does it happen? This delusion has come upon me as though we are bereft of the capacity of discrimination of this buddhi. The seer then said, O illustrious one, every creature has knowledge in this world of senses, but the objects of the senses are perceived differently by all beings. It is true that humans have a capacity of understanding and discriminating, but this knowledge is also common to all animals and birds, and all other living beings also possess some of this understanding, although it varies. There is a common knowledge that beasts and birds and humans have. When you look at these birds, you see that they have the knowledge that they are hungry, but because of attachment to their little chicks, they get busy dropping food into the beaks of their young. The sage further continued, addressing the king as supreme among men. All human beings have the capacity to understand, and men are desirous of having offspring, for out of greed they want their goodwill actions to be reciprocated by them in their need of time. Do you not see this, O mighty king? Men are hurled into the whirlpool of attachment. Men are hurled into the pit of delusion by Mahamaya, who upholds the cycle of life and death. The Devi is Mahamaya, and Mahamaya represents Yoga Nidra of the Lord of the worlds, that is Vishnu. And through this Mahamaya, the world is being deluded. This supreme goddess, who represents both the relative and the absolute consciousness, forcibly seizes the minds even of men of knowledge and thrusts them into the ignorance of this attachment and delusion. Through this Devi, the Mahamaya, is created the universe, and that all of that creation which moves and which does not move comes forth. And when she is satisfied with the behavior and the life of the men, then she bestows upon them the blessings of release of freedom. She bestows the Jivan Mukta. She is the ultimate knowledge, and she is the cause of the liberation in this life, and she is the eternal existence. She is the cause of the bondage in this relative consciousness, bondage to objects and their relationships. She is Purna, she is complete, and she is the one Almighty Shakti. Then the king asked the sage, O revered one, who is this goddess and whom you call Mahamaya? Please tell us of all the actions by which she is known, what is her origin, and what is her intrinsic nature. The sage then said, she is eternal, and she is the pure consciousness in her form. She is the bliss in her form. The world and all its individual phenomena are pervaded by her. She manifests herself in many ways for the good of the people, and she is the one who gives perfection to everyone. She brings perfection to every work that is there. Although eternal and unborn, she becomes manifest for the sake of accomplishing the work of the gods, and then she is said to be born in the world. At the end of the period for manifestation, which is called Kalpa, the universe dissolved into the primordial waters. And this is said to be a deluge or pralaya. Then Bhagavan Vishnu, he stretched out on Seshanag as a couch and entered into Yoga Nidra. Seshanag is the primordial serpent on which Bhagavan Vishnu lies down. So at that time, there were two terrible asuras named Madhu and Kaitaba arose from the dirt of the ears of Vishnu, that is the wax. They came out of the mala, which is the wax and the impurity, and they are the asuras, born out of this lower consciousness. And they were ready to slay Brahma, the creator. Brahma Prajapati was seated in the lotus, arising from the navel of Bhagavan Vishnu. These two asuras, Madhu and Kaitaba, wanted to kill Brahma, and Bhagavan Vishnu was asleep in Yoga Nidra. Now he has to wake up Bhagavan so that he can kill the asuras. And here Yoga Nidra is Devi herself, who has made her abode in the eyes of Vishnu and caused the deep slumber. So here, the Lord of the vast universe, who holds up all the worlds and who is responsible for the maintenance and the dissolution of the worlds, is in deep slumber. Brahma then sang the stotra or praised the goddess, who is the Yoganidra here, the goddess of sleep. This stotram for Devi is asking her to leave Bhagavan because she was residing in his eyelids, which caused the deep slumber. And this is how the stotram goes. Brahma said, "You are the nectar of the gods. You are the eternal essence of all the letters or the akshara. You dwell in the threefold matra as your very being. O Devi, you are the unchanging, eternal half matra, which cannot be uttered distinctly. You are Sandhya, you are Savitri, you are, O Goddess, the Supreme Mother. This universe is conceived and created by you. You alone sustain this world, O Goddess, and you always consume it at the end of the kalpa." At its origin, you take the form of a creator. For sustenance, you take the form of steadiness. And at the end of this world, you take the form of destruction. You are Mahavidya, you are Mahamaya, and you are Mahamedha. You are Mahasmriti, you are Mahamoharupa, you are Mahadevi, and you are Mahasuri. You are the Prakriti and the three gunas which you manifest in all. You are the night of destruction. You are the great night and the night of ignorance. You are Sri, you are Ishwari, and you are also Hri. You are the intellect and the goal of all knowledge. You are all modesty and you are contentment. You are peace and patience and forgiveness. You present as a frightful form with a sword of wisdom, a spear of concentration, a club of articulation, and the discus of revolving time, with the conch of vibrations and the bow of determination, having arrows, sling, and iron mace as your weapons. You are mild-mannered and gentle and the ultimate in attractiveness and with unsurpassed beauty. And beyond all of this, you are supremely superior to everything. You are the Supreme Consciousness. Whatever and wherever anything exists, whether it is real or unreal, in thought and perception, all of that energy that exists is only you. All of that Shakti of everyone is only you. And what can be sung in your praise? Now, Bhagavan Vishnu, who is the creator, the protector, and the destroyer of this perceivable world, has been subordinated to Nidra by you. O Devi, you are the one who have made Vishnu, Shiva, and myself to assume bodily forms. O Devi, you are forever contented, and how can I praise you. O Devi, because of the ignorance of ego, these two unassailable asuras, Madhu and Kaitaba, need to be killed. So please awaken this Vishnu Bhagavan to do this. O Devi, please rouse Vishnu Bhagavan from sleep and awaken his consciousness to the fully awake state. And in that fully awake state, let him slay these two asuras. Devi, who was praised this way by Sri Brahma, emerged from her dwelling in the eyes, mouth, nose, arms, heart and breast of Bhagavan Vishnu and presented herself in front of Brahma. Released by Devi, the Yoga Nidra, the Supreme Consciousness Vishnu rose from his couch of Seshanaga, where he was resting in the infinite ocean of being. He then saw these two demons, the two asuras, very great warriors of great strength. He saw Madhu and Kaitaba, the wicked asuras, who were very powerful and valorous, who were red-eyed with anger and continuing their endeavor to devour Brahma. Then Bhagavan Vishnu fought with these two asuras for 5,000 years, engaging them in an arm-in-arm duel. The asuras did not know that they were under the delusion of Mahamaya, and they were all puffed up by their excessive might. And they said to Vishnu, "We are content with your bravery. Ask a boon from us." Again, they asked Bhagavan Vishnu to ask a boon from them. Then Bhagavan said, "If you are so pleased with me, then what I ask you is that you both be slain by me now. What good will any other boon bring here?" Then these two asuras looked around at the entire universe, which comprised solely of water, just one big ocean of water, and then the two addressed the lotus-eyed Vishnu. "O Vishnu, we are pleased with our battle with you. We are proud to die at your hands, but slay us on a place where the earth is not inundated by water and a place which is dry." Then Bhagavan said, "So be it." And the glorious one who carries the conch, the discus and the club raised the two upon his lap and cut off their heads with his Sudarshan Chakra. Thus, praised by Brahma, she manifested herself. So thus is the first chapter named Madhukaitaba Vadha from Devi Mahatmyam in Savarnika Manvantara in Markandeya Purana. Jai Gurudev, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.